You're welcome to Dark Theory Inc. This is Rav Theory, and today we're going to talk a bit about quantum computing. So if you're not up to date with it, I suggest you go to a video with Geordie Rose. Geordie Rose, who is the founder of DWAVE, one of the pioneers of quantum computing. He did a really interesting speech, and I'll post the link in the description. You can check that out yourself. And as a pioneer in the technologically advanced time that we're in, and his invention or one of the patents on the quantum computer by Geordie Rose, he himself uses these words to describe what it's like working with or on a quantum computer and standing in front of it. His words are, it's like the altar to an alien god. Now, those are very strong words. Also, he talks about the ability to tap into other resources. He uses the words parallel universe, which is something also to speculate on. You know, this is a guy that's very good at what he does, and he invented something that's taking us leap years into the future. It's a quantum leap into the future with the quantum computer. So just think about the whole idea that this guy's using these words. He's saying basically what we're doing is magic. He says, you know, we put the information in there and it comes back to us. He says we get the information back, but we're not sure exactly who or where we're getting it from. And that's why he says that we're tapping into parallel universes, which is really fascinating. It gives a lot of credibility to string theory and other parallel multiverses theories. And like I said, these are, you know, guys that work with theoretical physicists, and you know, they're at that caliber of understanding of the universe. So for him to make all these comments and to talk about these things, it's fascinating. It's extremely fascinating. You know, people don't want to talk about the Mandela effect because some people have just made it ridiculous at this point, but there is something to talk about. There are things that I remember that just didn't make any sense. You know, I've done a video on it before when it first happened to me. It wasn't that I saw anything, it just happened to me, and I happened to see a video on YouTube about it later on, and I didn't realize it happened until I saw the video. So these things do exist. You cannot put them aside and, you know, just cast them in the wastebasket or categorize them as insane, crazy, or doesn't make any sense. You know, a lot of the things that Nikola Tesla and Einstein spoke about, they talked about the times where they came up with their best innovations, and it was during times of rest and dreaming where the imagination was being used more than anything else. So the reason I emphasize this all the time is I come from a yogic background. I've been practicing yoga since I was 9. I've been practicing for 40 years. I lived in an ashram at upstate New York and called Ananda Ashram, and had an amazing experience in meditation. And ever since then, you know, it's really helped my mind to focus even more than it already does, but to focus on the right things. But what really brought me into these things is when I was very young, when I was 8 years old. So I had an experience that I still can't understand up to this day, but the only thing that comes close to it, you know, aside from the whole demons, obsessions, and all this other stuff, is that there is something about science that can explain it, especially when I watch Star Trek and all these shows with the holodeck. Literally what happened to me was like my entire bedroom, half of it changed. Half of it was something else, and the other half was part of my bedroom, and I couldn't figure it out. It was such a weird thing as a kid of 8 years old or 9 to be able to see and experience. So it was like, I guess you could say it was, if people have acid trips and things like that where they hallucinate, that maybe I've never hallucinated like that, but you know, I can imagine this must be what it feels like. It's scary as hell because you have no control of what's going on around you. You're kind of there just witnessing it all. But you'll hear about that in another video where I may actually animate this. When I say animate, I'm going to do all the drawings myself and just put the drawings up as a storyboard for you. So I'm seeming to be able to do that more and more, and hoping my arms and I have a spinal cord defect from birth, so I kind of work with it as I go. So bear with me as I take time and do these things for you guys. I've been having a blast doing this, and I hope that you guys are too. And you have any questions, comments, please definitely, ask me and leave some comments there. Also, please subscribe. You're going to hit the like button, but as well, you're going to hit the bell, because that's going to ensure that you get all my videos. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe. Please be kind to animals.